Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to make a basic biscuit and turn it into something very extraordinary. Okay, so first we're going to start off with just our basic biscuit recipe. You're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And you're just going to throw all these ingredients, all your dry ingredients, into the same bowl. So while I get my flour in, I'll go ahead and let you know that the next thing you're going to need is 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar. And that's the sugar. The next thing you're going to need is 1 teaspoon of salt. And to the 1 teaspoon of salt, you're going to also add 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now, I'm not sure if you use sticks of butter or how you get your butter, but you're going to need 1/2 a cup of butter. And 1/2 a cup of butter is 1 stick of butter if you're using it in the sticks, okay? So this will conclude our dry ingredients. And now what we're going to do is just mix those up together. Try not to mash that butter. You want nice big chunks of butter. Not too big. You can kind of make them a little smaller than what I have here. Because when you start to mix this up, you're going to see it's going to get a almost mealy looking consistency. So while I do this, I'm going to go ahead and get my wet ingredients together. Okay guys, so I'm showing you my liquid angle like this because this is really important. Now, what you're going to want to add for your liquids is 2/3 cup of heavy whipping cream. And you're going to go the rest of the way. Let this settle for a second there. The rest of the way it will be, oh, sorry about that. To the 1.5 cup line here, you're going to add milk. Okay? Hope that makes sense to you guys at home. If not, I'll tell you it's about your 1 1/2 is your goal here, okay? So you're going to go to the 2/3 line with your heavy whipping cream, and then you'll go the rest of the way with your milk. If you don't have heavy whipping cream, you can go with 1 1/2 cups of milk. It works just fine. I like it with the heavy whipping cream a little bit better. Makes the dough a little bit easier to work with, okay? Now, to this wet ingredient. Now, normally, if you're just going to make a simple biscuit, you would be done here, okay? But like I said, we're going to take our plain biscuit and we're going to make it extraordinary. So what we're going to do in this liquid ingredient right now is we're going to, kind of mix that heavy whipping cream and the milk together. Oh, I'm sorry, I keep getting out of focus. But to this milk, we're going to add some jalapeno peppers. I have 4 jalapeno peppers all mixed together, and that's just like the jalapenos if you were going to take and soak them in vinegar and have that good jalapeno juice going. These are just softened jalapenos that were soaking in vinegar. Okay, so we have 4 diced jalapenos, and I'm going to let that sit in my liquid. I'm going to bring back over my dry ingredients. Okay, in the dry, I just want you to kind of see what it looks like. We have our butter, those big hunks are butter, and the rest is just flour. Now, if I was making a basic biscuit, this would be it. But we're making a plain biscuit extraordinary, so we're throwing in some sharp cheddar cheese. And it's okay if you get a little jalapeno in with your cheddar, because I had them sitting really close to each other. And it's okay because it's all going into the same biscuit, okay? So we're just going to mix that cheese in with the butter and the flour and all of our other dry ingredients. And now we're going to get ready to incorporate the two. And when you incorporate the two, you're going to make a well in the center of your dry ingredients. And you're going to slowly add just a little bit of your wet mixture to that center. Alright, and then you're going to go ahead and just start mixing that. And then once it starts to get doughy, it starts to make a nice little dough ball. And it gets really, really hard to stir. Then that's when you'll start adding a little bit more of your wet ingredients. So, sorry about that. And you'll let it get nice and see how it's all thick and in a dough ball. I'm sorry, let's see if I can get it. Yeah, there we go. See how it's in a ball now? Okay, now it is time to dig another well, so to speak, and pour more of your liquid ingredients. I'm sorry, your liquid. Yeah, your liquids in. And then mix it all together. And I believe it's all of my liquid ingredients. And it's going to form into a nice ball. Yeah, that's all of it. Okay, it's going to form into a nice ball. Let me... sorry about that. I almost fell. Try to focus over it so you guys can kind of see what it's looking like. Now, normally it's not this wet. The only reason why it's this wet is because we have our peppers in here with it, and that's taking up a little of our dry. And this is exactly what you want. It's going to be a little juicy. That's fine. Now you're going to need to move this mixture to a cutting board, okay? Because you don't want to mix the dough too much. Okay. So now I'll get my cutting board together. I'm going to put a little all-purpose flour on it, and then we'll begin. Okay, guys, so we have the space all floured, and I'm going to have my son do the biscuits because this way I can hold the camera. So we're going to dump all of our biscuit dough. Now, normally, like I said, your biscuit dough will not be this. I'm going to move so it's not so much light. There we are. Your biscuit dough will not be so sticky and gooey, but it will be a little sticky and gooey, and that's fine. Just take and put down plenty of flour, and then just like he's doing here, you're going to pack a lot of flour on top, okay? And you're also going to make sure you have flour on your hands so that you don't get a lot of biscuit dough stuck to it. Okay. Alright, so we have all of our batter from our bowl. And we'll get that out of the way. And now he's going to show you how you just knead the dough a little bit. Okay, you don't want to touch it too much because you can easily melt that butter. You don't want that butter melting on your hands. You want it melting in the oven. Go ahead. Okay, so you're going to flip and work the flour, that extra flour that you put down, into the dough, okay? Once it starts to look like really good dough, then you'll be ready to start cutting out your biscuits. Now, this is the thing. A lot of people use biscuit cutters. I do not. I use a glass because it has the perfect mouth for it. And you just dip the mouth of the glass in flour. Let's see here. I'm going to just show you the glass I'm using. And I see I've already dipped it in flour. Okay. And I just keep it over on the side. And then whenever you need to re-dip it, you can always just re-dip it. So, go ahead. Okay, guys. So, we are ready to cut our dough. You see we have it spread out and it's not very big. It's kind of small here. And you want that because all you're going to do is once you cut these biscuits out, you'll come back, reform your dough, do the same thing over again. So, let's go ahead and start pressing out these biscuits. And then if you ever need it, like if you're, the dough starts to get sticky on the glass, all you have to do is dip it back into the flour. And then go back at it again. And try, now I always, because I use a glass, I was just telling my son this. I try to get here on the edge to where there's like no dough left on this side. And the reason why I do it that way is because when you, like he did this one here in a way that I wouldn't do it, where you leave this dough out here. The reason why I don't like to leave that dough out there is the reason we're refilming this part. And that's because with my son, he was doing a biscuit over here, and he was over in this area, and the glass popped, so, and broke. So we had to get a whole nother glass. So you want to avoid that. You want to come as close to the edge, like for instance here, so that the outer part of your glass, and I'm going to show you with the glass, because I want you guys to really notice this. Okay, you're coming here. See how the glass is going to end up on the outside of the dough? That's exactly what you want, because when it's like this, it's going to cause a lot of air to go up into, I'm sorry, let's see here. When you're in here, a lot of air will go up in. It'll put pressure on the glass. It'll crack your glass. It could also cause your glass to do what our glass just did. And I'm going to show you the glass as well. This is one of my favorite glasses, so I really want to cry. But, see that? See how it's broken? And then that's the piece. So, you don't want that. So, try to get as close to the edge as possible in those areas. Okay, now we have our last biscuit for this set of dough. And we'll go ahead and get that cut out, put into the pan, and let those set while we reform our dough. Okay, make sure you get the biscuit in the glass and then press down. See how it allows the air to seep out on the other side, and it's perfect.